Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, going to move some crypto around for you guys, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. So thank you for joining me. We've had a pretty good week in the markets. Things are getting exciting again. There's a lot of FOMO in the air, so thus the thumbnail. And we'll be talking about the markets a little bit. There's some news about CZ, the former CEO of Binance, and Caroline Ellison, both involved in court cases, but very different from each other. And then we're going to talk about scams tonight. I've got a pretty good example that Joseph sent over, so I want to kind of break down what happened there and kind of talk about some of the red flags that were involved in that and how you can avoid these types of scams. This wasn't really an investment scam so much as it was an impersonation scam that involved the purchasing of some products using crypto that did not turn out well for the victim. So we'll talk about that. Also, I've got the new rig up and running. I wanted to show you guys. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna move things a little bit. Hopefully, I won't screw everything up. I'm gonna tilt this thing as best I can this direction, and then open up the door, if that's going to work. And then let's see what happens when we zoom in here, right? Up, 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 up. I'm going to have to point it down just slightly. All right, there we go. And now let's focus in there. So we've got everything running now. This is the graphics card. That's my NVIDIA 4090. I've got the new LCD CPU cooler, and it's hard to tell from this angle, but there are a total of 10 fans. We've got the back fan here. We've got 3 fans along the radiator, which is part of the CPU cooler, and then I have 3 that are facing out the backside, and then 3 in the front that are pulling the outside air in, and all the rest of the fans are pulling or pushing the air back out. So there we go. I did an upgrade of the cooling system because I was having trouble with my older system. Just having trouble with, let me go over here. Just kind of having some trouble with my cooling and the settings on the fans. They are USB devices, so they can be a little quirky. As you guys know, I have a lot of USB devices. I've got 5 webcams and the speakers and the mic and everything. The speakers aren't USB. But anyway, I have a lot of USB devices, and I'm using, you know, the Ledger and Trezor devices use USB on my desktop. So I'm balancing a lot. And so I just, plus the new system had cooler connectors and everything else, and a better LCD cooler. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of what the rig looked like. I think this is the first picture. Now this picture, I've already ripped out the old RGB hub, so you can't see it here. But this is, I had 2 of them in there. I left this one in there, but I'm going to replace that with something smaller. But you can see this is with the less cable. Yeah, this is, I've already ripped out. Well, actually, these fans are still in there. So, yeah, these are some of the old fans. And that's the USB hub. And if you look closely, you can really see how much dust accumulates inside a computer on these fans. and it's really fine dust. It took me, I spent quite a bit of time cleaning the old fans as I was taking them out because I want to use them in something else. I've got other machines laying around. This is the CPU without the cooler on top, if you've ever seen such a thing. This is my AMD Ryzen 9 7950X. So, and then I, cleaned up the, there's putty. CPU paste or thermal paste. There we go. Yeah, I cleaned off the thermal paste and then put on the new CPU cooler and had a good time. People ask me, well, why don't you do videos on these? It's really hard to do videos when I'm doing a build, partly because it takes so long, and since the computer is broken down, there's really nothing left to do my capture except, my Rebel camera over there with an SD card. And since they take the better part, it took me the better part of 3 days, not all day long, but over time. And plus, it never fails that at some point during my builds, I have an emotional meltdown and scream and cuss and curse the heavens. And this one had to do with mounting the fans in the case and then realizing that I wasn't able to get the connectors plugged in because they weren't readily accessible. It was possible, but I couldn't get in there. And so I just had a nuclear meltdown and took all the fans back out. It's like 24 screws that I had to take out to get the fans out and then connect them all and back in. So yeah, I have my share of mental breakdowns when I'm doing this stuff. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for joining me here. Kenny is here early as usual. Thank you so much, Kenny, for being here. And the news, Andreas, Simon, Mark Schlossberg, Mr. Miskey, Hans Hannah 350. Bobby is here. Good to have you here again. Goofball is here. I don't remember Goofball before. Welcome if it's your first time. Christopher Thane from Melbourne. I think I said that right. Melbourne, Australia. Scott Lee is here. Always good to have Scott. Gregory Whelan. Goofy Dude. Oh, yeah, I got you already. Oh, no, there's Goofball and Goofy Dude. We got some goofies here tonight. That's great. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Richard Torres. Dan is here, our moderator. Thank you for being here tonight, Dan. Alina is here again from Kansas. I remember you were here last week and maybe the week before. Always good to have you here. So we've got maybe 70K on the horizon. We were up at 65 just yesterday. Let's see. Jim C. Anyone have Mars protocol in the U.S.? I know U.S. can't use the red bank, but with it going on Neutron, I was wondering how to convert it to Neutron from osmosis level 1. Well, that's quite a specific question. I'm not sure if that's on the Cosmos chain or not, but you should be able to use the Kepler dashboard and maybe have to do your swaps on osmosis. I don't know if you can buy that on a DEX or you have to go on some exchange that's not in the US. If it's a centralized exchange, you might want to try a VPN. I know a lot of exchanges now require some form of identification. So it's hard to access sites that try to block US users because not only do they block your IP, and if you use a VPN, you can get on the site, but then they want verification before they'll let you trade, and they won't take your US ID. So it's getting harder, but I know you can swap tokens in osmosis, and there's several dexes. I think you're talking about the Atom Cosmos chain. I may be wrong because you mentioned osmosis. Anyway, sorry I didn't know specifically. Dan might know more about that. I know Dan's a big fan of osmosis. Stingham, Buffle Stump. This is my first time watching you. I have a wife and 2 cats. Maybe I'm CryptoDad. I'm 63. I have a wife, 2 kids, 1 dog, and 1 cat, and I'm 61 years old, But so you're pretty darn close to being Crypto Dad. Let's jump into the news. Before I do, I've got the description down here about what we're going to talk about news-wise and our scam discussion. It's not a scam discussion. It's a discussion about scams. We've got an agenda, things we're going to talk about, things I didn't get to last week. I did a video on SU tokens, or SUI, or however you want to pronounce it. But those of you who were here last week saw me go through this, I think, or it might have been the week before. But I took excerpts from that and basically just posted them in a standalone video that was kind of edited for time. Also, I've got a video link to my Fireproof. We talked about this last week. What did I do with those links? Here. So the stamp seed allows you to use these tools to stamp or etch your seed words into this platinum plate. It's pretty cool. A bit pricey for the entire set with the hammer and anvil, but you could just get the base kit and use your own hammer and maybe some hard surface that you could find. And where is it here? Yeah. The code will get you 15% off, the CryptoDad code. I checked it out and it does appear to work. If you go in here to your shopping cart and apply the CryptoDad discount code, it's not cooperating with me. It won't pull down. I don't know. It's not cooperating with me. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see. Now it's not cooperating at all. Okay. Well, it worked for me before. I don't know what's going on now, but I can't get it to pull down right now. Let me see. Okay. There it goes. All right. So if we paste in CryptoDad all caps, they will apply the 15% discount for you. So you might want to check out Stampseed. We talked many times on the stream how important that seed phrase is, those words that the wallet will give you when you first set it up. I mean, a lot of people, when they look at my videos on hardware wallets and hardware devices like Ledger and Trezor, it never fails that somebody comes into the comments and says something snide like, what if that thing breaks? Then what? What are you going to do then? You seem so smart, but what if that thing breaks? And it's like, gee, I hadn't thought of that. Well, that's what your seed phrase is for. If your device breaks, if your device gets stolen, if your device gets lost, your seed phrase will allow you to restore all of your crypto to a new device. Now, different protocols there. If you break it, then just get a new device and restore. If it was stolen, although the odds are very low that the attacker or the thief will be able to access your device because they usually have pins, it would be best practice to move your crypto off after you've done the restore and you have it on the new device. You should move all of that crypto off to a new device, right? Best practice, right? Because technically your seed phrase is compromised. Not really. But definitely if you lose the seed phrase, you want to do that too. So anyway, let's not get too bogged down. Let's jump into the news. And there's other stuff in the description. A lot of other affiliate links and all of the news stories. And I have that recommended video. And I've got another recommended video that we're going to talk about tonight that I didn't get a chance to paste in there. Maybe I'll do that as we go along. So first, Bitcoin FOMO is back. 70K is back on the table, but we are not at 70K, so don't get too excited. Right now we're at 65,628, not too shabby, and that's a little bit down. Not much down from where it was yesterday. Or exactly 24 hours ago. And Ethereum was up to, if I recall, I think it was right at 2,900, which is pretty damn good for Ethereum. We've got a market coming up on us, it looks like. The Fed cut rates. It makes sense that risk assets should go up when the Fed cuts rates. It's always a little weird because a few weeks back when they announced the rate cuts, which was good news, the market kind of pumped a little and then just dumped for some bizarre reason. But then this week when they actually did lower the rates, there was a little bit of volatility, and then we saw Bitcoin kind of take off along with the rest of the crypto market. In fact, I think last week we talked about altcoins doing very well, and they continue to do pretty well this week as well. So we'll see. Good news in the crypto market. News of the Binance founder, Zhangpeng, or CZ Zhao, is a free man. He made a deal with the U.S. government, agreed to come and turn himself in. He was living in, I believe, Dubai or the United Arab Emirates, and he pled guilty. He made a deal, and he had to serve a total of 5 months, or was it 4 months? But I mean, I think he was in for 2 months. I don't see where it says it. Served 3 months in a low security prison on California's Central Coast. In August, he was moved to a halfway house in San Pedro, and then stayed there for a couple of months. I would venture to say that San Pedro was probably worse than the minimum security prison. I'm from SoCal. I lived in SoCal for about, I don't know, many years, 8 years with my family, and then we moved here. We lived in the Valley in Sherman Oaks, so I'm kind of bagging on San Pedro, but, San Pedro is not one of the, where all the rich people flock to. San Pedro's kind of, it's lower middle class white. I don't know what it is. I think it's kind of, I just think of it as run down, right? San Pedro. But hey, San Pedro's great. It's a good place to visit. You can take a helicopter from San Pedro out to Catalina Island. Pretty awesome. But there's a lot of ports and industry down there. So sorry to bag on San Pedro, but yeah, it was probably worse for him there than the prison on California's Central Coast. I mean, if he had a window, he's probably all right. But I'm sure, there were guys that have been arrested for a lot less, that have spent a lot more time. Interestingly, he was the richest person ever to be in prison. Where did they say that? He had to pay a $4.3 billion fine. I don't see where that was. Okay. He's got a net worth of $25.3 billion. He is believed to be the richest person ever to go to prison in the U.S. But he's out. That's good. I don't really think he was guilty of much of anything, except maybe some sloppy regulatory stuff. But we're in, it's crypto, right? We're in cutting edge stuff. So, but he did his time, paid his debt to society, however you want to think of it. And then also someone not quite as lucky, Caroline Ellison, was sentenced to 2 years, I think it was, 24 months, 2 years in prison. We'll see how long she has to serve. She had to forfeit $11 billion. I mean, really? She had $11 billion? After defrauding people of their life savings, she still had 11. I don't know how much she has left over, but it makes sense. And of course, the so-called mastermind of all this, Sam Bankman-Fried, was sentenced to, I believe, 25 years and is currently filing an appeal. And I think that the fact that they sentenced her to prison time is not going to be good for Sam Bankman-Fried. I think the idea was that she turned states and, got away scot-free. But if they're sentencing her, even with cooperation, to 2 years, I don't think Sam Bankman-Fried's prospects look very good. From what I understand, he was a little bit testy and disrespectful to the judge during his trial. So he's probably going to be stuck for a while. But anyway, Catherine got sentenced to 2 years. Now, thank you again for everyone for being here. I am going to switch gears here to this is Joseph sent me this in an email earlier. Thank you for your donation, by the way, Joseph. Good to have you here live. I believe this is the site you were talking about. This is their Twitter, and then this is the video in question. I'm going to paste that in down here. Oh no, I'm sorry. I did it. Here it is. Yeah, that's the link. It's in the news links. So I watched this video, and we'll talk a little bit about what happened. But he's interviewing a guy named Beardy who was scammed out of like $25,000 worth of Bitcoin. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then this is a link to where you can go to report internet-related crime if you get scammed or whatever. So let's talk a little bit about this. I took some notes, and you don't have to. You can watch the video yourself, but I just kind of watched the bit where he interviewed Beardy. And basically it broke down like this. Beardy met someone involved in, I can't remember the name of the company. I can't think of it right now, but he met someone that was involved in a Bitcoin related company, and they were involved in mining, if I'm not mistaken. He met the guy at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, where I was a couple months back, and connected with him on Telegram. There was some kind of Telegram group that Beardy joined. And then at some point, it's a little bit unclear, but at some point he was probably in Telegram and was contacted by someone masquerading as the gentleman that he knew and trusted, probably with a DM. This happens a lot on Telegram. If you've ever been in a Telegram support group, there'll be a moderator, and then you'll get DMs from people or direct messages that are masquerading as the moderator. They'll have the same icon and the same name. I don't know how they do it, or a very similar name. And then through DM, you'll get scammed by this person. It actually happened to me. It wasn't for a lot. I was told that I should send a small test amount to help something, and I did. And then I finally realized that the guy was scamming me. And then I went back into the group and said, hey, your moderator's a scammer. And the moderator was like, don't be an idiot. That wasn't me. So that's kind of what happened to Beardy here. And so he was invited to join a Lightning network. And Lightning is a little complicated. Beardy was not that familiar with it, but he went ahead and opened a Lightning channel, and he had to fund it with a little bit of Bitcoin, not a whole lot. After this happened, he was told by this scammer that they had a great line on some Bitcoin miners, and he could get him a really good deal. They were normally like $5,000, but he could sell them at his cost, which was $1,500 each or something, or something close to that. And he told him he could get him a bulk discount if he bought 10 or something. And Beardy was kind of sucked into that. He was thinking about, hey, I'll be on Easy Street. The Bitcoin will be rolling in. I can give one to my brother. He was all this. And so I think he said he sent 0.38 Bitcoin to this person, this address. and it wasn't true. But the interesting part about the scam was that he actually verified by clicking the phone in Telegram. Everyone has a phone number associated with their account, and you can actually click on that and make a call. And he talked to someone live that responded to him and sounded like the guy that he knew. So we've had AI scams before where they were recordings or whatever, but this was a live call that was using an AI to impersonate the voice of the person that Beardy trusted. So this was kind of innovative. Rob had never heard about this. I had never heard about this. And so that was the final confirmation for Beardy. Was once he made the phone call and talked to the guy, he was convinced that it was the same guy he knew, and thus trust was established, right? Basically, there were several red flags here. The first was that Beardy said he was tired and that he hadn't gotten enough sleep. So never a good time to do anything serious when you're on little or to no sleep, right? The first hook was the Lightning Network thing, which he was not familiar with. So here, you're dealing with something you're not familiar with on little to no sleep. And so that's kind of a red flag. And Telegram itself is a bit sketchy. Although a lot of people are using Telegram, there are a lot of scammers out on Telegram. So being on Telegram or Discord or WhatsApp or Instagram, there are so many scammers on those platforms that masquerade. So we got that. And then it was a Telegram call. Instead of calling the guy independently from his phone, I would assume that if I had met someone, that I would have had his business card and probably would have tried to contact him independently outside of Telegram if I were being asked to make a purchase of that type. And so he didn't really get any independent verification. But it was a convincing scam because it was an AI voice. Now, they were offering a deal that seemed to be too good to be true. So that's another one. They're going to try to suck you in with a deal that really sounds good. Another thing that I'll mention, this really has nothing to do with the scam, but Beardy was convinced that if he made this investment in these Bitcoin miners, that he would be on easy street and the Bitcoin would come rolling in. That's not entirely true. It's not a bad setup, but Bitcoin mining is not a money tree. Bitcoin mining requires a lot of time and energy and upfront capital investment. A lot of people seem to be under the impression that if you set yourself up to mine Bitcoin, that the money is just going to come rolling in. But there are a lot of factors, as I mentioned, the capital investment, the time and energy. Your power bills will go up. You have to find a way to cool these units, and they are annoyingly loud. So if you have a garage, great, you can put them out in your garage so they won't disturb you. But then you've got to figure out a way to keep the garage cool enough. And so now you've got to invest in a cooling system out in your garage. And if they're in your house where maybe your air conditioner is enough, you've got these annoying, loud rigs that sound like vacuum cleaners. So don't get sucked into this whole, Bitcoin mining is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It requires a lot of capital investment, even if you join a mining pool. You will get a return on your investment, but it's not gonna make you independently wealthy or a millionaire within a week or two. It's not how it works, right? It's just like any job. Okay, so this is the setup of a scam. They're gonna tell you that they're gonna give you a deal that's too good to be true. they're going to appeal to either your greed or your fear. So they're going to tell you you can make a lot of money, or they're going to tell you you're about to lose a lot of money, that your wallet is about to be disabled, your crypto is at risk, all those kind of things. So they're going to use either fear or greed. So whenever you're fearful or greedy, and you're dealing with someone on the phone or online, stop, take a step back, and think about exactly what's going on, right? And then they're going to apply time pressure on you. And this is a big giveaway. Whenever they're telling you things like, yeah, it's a great deal, but you have to do it now. Your wallet's at risk, but if you act now, we can help you. All of that time pressure thing should set off alarm bells and red flags. So always be aware of that. Also, the scammer reached out to him. So he was probably just on Telegram, maybe reading the news or reading other people's posts, and got DM'd. So he was approached first, as opposed to Beardy going directly to the moderator or the person that he knows in the Telegram group. And then, if I want to buy 10 miners and I contact someone, that's fine. That's usually the way it should work. But if I'm just, on no sleep and I'm reading Telegram and I get DM'd and approached about some great deal, that's something you should step back from a little bit. Always independently verify stuff like that. Call them, try a different channel, go directly to a website if you're being offered some kind of deal. If someone calls you and says they're from Coinbase, and that your account is about to be frozen or locked or something, just hang up and then go and log into your Coinbase and find out if your account is locked, right? A lot of these phone scammers try to keep you on the line with a lot of fear. But really, if it's that important, if Coinbase is calling you out of the blue and you hang up on them and it really is Coinbase, they'll probably call you back, right? So don't get sucked into that, hey, don't hang up, or, you might not be able to, get your account handled if you hang up now. They always try to keep you on the phone, right? Joe subscribed. Thank you, Joe. Okay, and another thing to remember as far as crypto is concerned, crypto is non-reversible. Now, I've heard a lot of people complain about this. They'll say, somebody scammed me with my credit card, and I called my bank, and they immediately reversed the charges without even investigating. They and a lot of times banks will do that, and then pending an investigation, they might, after the investigation, they might pull the money back. Who knows? But a lot of times the bank will refund you right away. But that's not always a given. But with crypto, once you've sent it, it's sent. There's no way to get it back. There's no take backs. There's nobody to call. There's no bank you can call to reverse the transaction. So you have to be very careful when you make a crypto transaction, right? Because there's no way to get it back once it's already sent. Now, this is bad in a way, but it's also good in a way, because crypto is the kind of thing where a lot of people, like for example, Amazon. If you want to buy something on Amazon, they're not going to send you anything unless you've logged your credit card, verified your name and your address and your bank account and all that stuff, verified the card, done KYC. So in other words, if I want to buy a coffee cup on Amazon, I basically have to give them my entire life story, my name, my address, everything, just to get a coffee cup from Amazon. But with Bitcoin, If you're willing to accept Bitcoin and I'm willing to send it, there's no additional authorization required. I don't have to give you my life story to make a purchase with crypto. The crypto is enough, right? So if the seller has a Bitcoin wallet and they're willing to accept Bitcoin as payment, all I need to do is send them the Bitcoin. That's proof enough, because it is like currency. It's like gold, you know. You don't need to verify anything about me. All you need to know is that I've sent you Bitcoin and it's confirmed in your wallet. And it's irreversible, so I can't send it to you, you know, get that coffee cup that you were selling and then change my mind and pull the Bitcoin back out again, right? The seller is protected from that kind of behavior. There are a lot of scammers on in PayPal and on eBay that'll do that sort of thing. They'll convince you to send them a product. They may even pay with PayPal. And then after they've gotten the product, they'll call PayPal and say they've been scammed, and PayPal will yank the money out of your eBay account. I used to be an eBay seller, and it's all too common, right? So that's what's good about the irreversibility of crypto transactions, is that if I pay you Bitcoin, rest assured that Bitcoin is yours, right? There's no way I'm going to change my mind and yank it back later. So that's a good thing. All right. So it's still kind of early. I wasn't sure I was going to get everything done. And once again, I've got this link here for the internet crime reporting. He did talk a little bit about reporting. He said he was embarrassed and humiliated. He didn't even want to tell anyone about it. But then one of his friends convinced him to go ahead and report the issue. You know, this was a straight up scam, but a lot of people will blame themselves. You really don't need to blame yourself. Like I said, I've been scammed on Telegram. It wasn't a huge amount, but I did send them a couple of small transactions before I realized that, hey, something's not right here. Because every time I would send them, it was like, I don't know, $5 or $10 worth of DOT or something. I was in the DOT Telegram group for troubleshooting, right? And after I'd sent a couple, and they kept saying, well, you need more. And then every time I'd say, well, I just sent it, they had some kind of elaborate excuse as to why I needed to send one more confirmation. And that's when I finally realized. So no one's immune to these things, but always be very careful when, you know, it's a large amount and it's in kind of a sketchy forum, you know, or situation. Always independently verify that stuff, and don't be afraid to hang up your phone. Never be afraid to hang up your phone. Even if it's the IRS, hang up your phone, and then they'll call you back, and you can say, I don't know, my phone cut out or whatever. So you can hang up on anybody, anytime, anywhere. Don't be afraid to hang up the phone if you're thinking you're getting scammed, right? Just hang up the phone. That's, you know, you don't have to say goodbye or anything. Just hang up, right? But I do know that these scammers will keep calling you. So you have to be pretty firm, that kind of stuff. Let them leave you a message. But let me see. Were there any questions here? The Voodoo Kuzu just subscribed. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Cartatao So is here from Cincinnati, not too far from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Thanks for the work. Thank you, Ben, for acknowledging that. Kelly P is here tonight. Daniel, can you send crypto from the Ledger Nano X to the Tangent wallet? Tried several times without success. Yes, you can. It's not too difficult. You know, I get a lot of questions like that. And whoops, the question is along the lines of, can I send crypto from wallet A to wallet B? And the answer is yes. Crypto is universal, but the wallet on the receiving end has to support that particular crypto. So let's take a look at my Tangent wallet.
And let's see what we got here. Let's go over to, let's do our new colorful one. So here's my wallet. I have my card here, but I really, you're saying ledger to Tangent. So I really don't need the card to receive, right? Let's do some Ethereum. Let's do Ethereum. I'm going to spend a little on fees, but it's not a big deal. So basically, you have your cryptos here. Now, you can, where is this? I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. It looks slightly different. They've changed it slightly. But if you want to add, okay, see, when you go to add, you'll notice that there are a lot of different networks that you can use for Ethereum, right? You've got Ethereum main, which I've got toggled on, but there are other networks like Arbitrum, Base. So you can see there's several networks. Now, Bitcoin isn't like that unless they support, yeah, they don't have an ad there because I've already got it. But Tether also, there are lots of chains that you can enable for Tether. So that's really the only complicated part. Otherwise, you know, let's do Solana. Let's faster. So we'll go into our Solana. Actually, I need to get out of the ad here. Okay, so we'll go back here. We're going to receive some Solana. There's the Solana address in my Tangent wallet. So I want to send some Solana from my ledger to my Tangent wallet. So here's my Tangent wallet. I need the address. In this case, I'm going to do a share. And I'm just going to email that address to myself. It's pretty straightforward. That way I'll have access to it on my desktop. Now, if I was using the Ledger Live phone app, I could cut and paste, you know, by copying this into my clipboard. But let's do the desktop to Tangent, right? Let's go ahead and launch Ledger Live. Okay. Now, I have my device set up here. I'm going to need this to authorize the outgoing transaction. So I'll go ahead and enter my PIN. Okay, and I've got that. Let's go over to this camera. Let's see if this camera is working. This is going to be fun. Oh, yeah. I need to enable something here. I need to, can I do this? Okay, I need to add a filter, and I need it to be chroma key. Isn't that it? Chroma key? And I want it to be green. Okay. Did I do it? Doesn't look like I did it. Oh, that's because I used the wrong device. Meh, meh, meh. Yeah, this is what happens when, let me take that filter off. That's the overhead camera. We need the face cam. Let's go to that. Now I know how to do it. We go to the filters. We go to edit filters. We'll do add filter. We'll add chroma key. Whoops, come on chroma key. What happened? There it is. Green. Okay, boom. There it goes. As I was saying, I set everything up earlier today. Let's go ahead and turn off the phone. We don't need that at the moment. Those are my notes. So we got our new overhead camera here. Seems to be working pretty good. This is the RGB hub that I'm going to replace. We won't deal with that, but I wanted you to see my device here. So I'll show you what I do on the device as we go into Ledger Live. So we're going to go into our, we can go to accounts. Let's go into our Solana account. Note that I have more than one device that I'm managing in Ledger Live, so I've named each account accordingly. So I have a TON Stacks account, which is associated with my stacks. I have a Solana Stacks, a Bitcoin Stacks, but I also have a Bitcoin Nano X account. This is an account that's tied to my Ledger Nano X. And then I also have an Ethereum Stacks. I have a Stellar Flex, because I also have a Flex device, and I've got Polygon set up on my Flex. The reason that these are on a separate device is because they were set up a long time ago with some affiliates, and those affiliates will pay me either in Stellar or Polygon-based US dollar coin. And so I keep these accounts kind of open on the alternate device. Now, I could go into these affiliate accounts and update them to my new Stacks address, but just so you can see that you can manage multiple devices in one copy of Ledger Live. People, I had someone in the comments that was mad that he bought a new Stacks and that he set it up with a brand new seed phrase and it didn't connect to any of his old crypto accounts. It wasn't what he had in mind. He basically really what he wanted to do was import all those accounts onto his new device. He should have done a restore instead of setting it up as new. But he was mad that Ledger didn't tell him what was going on. But I have a video on just how to do that, so he was happy for my video. So yeah, crypto can be kind of confusing. So, but anyway, where were we, right? We're going to go into our Solana. We're going to do a send, but we need the address of my Tangem wallet. So let's go over here and let's go to my Gmail and let's get that address that I sent to myself. All right, there it is. Whoops. That's my Solana address. Copy that. And then we'll paste that in here. I don't need a memo. It's telling me the account's not funded. That usually just indicates that it's an empty wallet. It's not a big deal. The particular wallet in Tangem is empty, but this is not a deal breaker. It's just kind of a warning. We'll hit continue here. And let's see, we got, let's do 20 in Solana. Fees are low on Solana, right? So I'm going to send 20 bucks worth of Solana. And it's thinking about it. I don't know why it's thinking about it so long. Okay, so the fees are so low that they don't even show up as a penny. So that's why one of the reasons I chose Solana for this little demo. We'll hit continue here. This would be the exact same interface for Bitcoin too if you were sending Bitcoin from Ledger to Tangem, right? We do the same process. Form slightly different, substance is the same, if that is the right analogy, right? So there's my fee. Now, when I hit continue, what's going to happen over here, whoops, is the device is going to ask me to open the Solana app, right? So I will tap that. It's going to open up the Solana app for me, and then it's going to ask me to review the transaction. This is why I love the stacks. Right, we'll swipe there. There's the amount I'm sending. There's the address I'm sending to. All I have to do is hold to sign, and off it goes. Now, let's go back over here. We'll go back to our Tangem. Whoops, where is that thing? There it is. And we'll go back here, and then we'll just do a quick refresh. And the Solana came in. Right, there it is. So pretty easy. I don't know why it wasn't working for you. It's pretty straightforward. You know, all this, you know, can I send crypto from, you know, my Descent wallet to my MetaMask? Can I send crypto from my Ledger to my Tangem? Can I send crypto from my Tangem to my Trezor? All of these questions are the same answer. Yes, yes, yes. That's what crypto is all about, being able to Oh yeah, thank you for that, Dan. I actually had someone that sent me back in 2020, I think it was. I did a video on how to buy Ethereum on crypto.com and store it on your ledger. And I exposed my receiving address. I've noticed that some people will blur their receiving address. I usually don't, just for clarity, so you can kind of see what's going on. I don't bother to blur my receiving address. It's public information. But yeah, this guy followed the video so closely that he actually scanned my receiving address with his phone and sent me 1 Ethereum. And it was kind of a mess because I got the Ethereum and I was like, somebody sent me Ethereum. I don't know who sent me Ethereum. And I immediately sent it right back to where it came from. And then within 24 hours, the guy that did it got into my YouTube comments and started calling me a thief and a scammer and all this stuff that I was, I didn't force him to send me the crypto. He sent it of his own accord. But it turned out to be kind of a mess because he didn't send it from his wallet. He sent it from his crypto.com account. And so when I sent it back, it went back to crypto.com and didn't go back into his account. It just went back to them. But luckily at that time, I was working pretty closely with crypto.com. I used to, they were paying me a monthly fee to do videos for them. So I knew my rep pretty well. I was able to let them know the situation, explain what happened, give them his name and his account and all this stuff. And they eventually got it straightened out and he got his crypto back. But yeah, don't send me crypto, please. I'm not here to give you receiving addresses. Don't send me crypto. I'm just doing a demo for you. You, of course, would be using your crypto addresses, not mine. Thanks for pointing that out, Dan. But that's the thing, just send crypto. All you need is a receiving address. And then do a send from where you want to send it from, right? But the important thing is the crypto address. And like I said, if I were someone else, and if someone else wanted me to send them crypto, all I would need is that receiving address. I don't need their life story. All I just need, hey, where do I send the crypto? And boom, they get it. And they don't need my life story either. They don't need to know anything about me, who I am, where I live. There's a reasonable amount of trust between two people. They might know my name or whatever, or just trust me. But right, we don't have to expose our private information to each other in order to do crypto, right? All we need is the crypto address. That's the beauty of crypto. So yeah, that's sending from one place to another. Goofy Dude. CZ was in California's men's colony on the Central Coast, California, outside of San Luis Obispo, which is famous for having Marlon Brando's and Max Factor. Grand CZ was in Cali. Yeah, I think there's, Alcatraz has been closed for many years, but I know there are some pretty scary prisons in California, but he was at a minimum security. And if he had a view of the coast, either from his cell or from the courtyard or whatever, that's beautiful up there in San Luis Obispo. But yeah, thanks for giving us more details about that, Goofy Dude. I appreciate it. 0.1 Bitcoin will get you by. Yeah. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hey, Crypto Dad. This is Owen Brown. Late to the party, buying Bitcoin for the first time this month. Your hard storage videos have been great for my understanding going forward. Yeah, thank you for that. I noticed that I was cashing out some Bitcoin the other day, and I noticed that Coinbase seems to be charging a lot more for trades than they used to be. Before Coinbase merged their pro and their consumer, they had a separate website called GDAX, which was basically just Coinbase Professional or Coinbase Pro, but they called it GDAX. And when they first came out with GDAX, I think Dan can vouch for this. I believe all trades were like 0.1%, something like that. They were all really cheap, and they had zero withdrawal fees because they wanted people to use it, right? They were trying to like get people onto their platform. Well, now that they've sucked everybody in, and regulations have locked people out from all of the the foreign exchanges. Now seems like Coinbase is really charging you an arm and a leg to make a crypto trade and a withdrawal. Although cash withdrawals are zero, unless you want them right away. And then, of course, you've got to pay a premium if you want the crypto in your bank account immediately. And I was planning on doing a little crypto sale. So let me get through these questions and see. The older we get, the more scammers try to steal our money, that's for sure. They can catch you with a phone call, and if your guard is down, even if you know Coinbase won't call you. Yes. A very good friend of mine got scammed out of a lot of crypto by someone claiming to be from Coinbase. They are everywhere. You'll get texts, you'll get phone calls, you'll get emails. Just scammers are everywhere. It's funny, I never answer my phone. I always keep it on basically do not disturb. If it's not someone in my contacts, it goes right to my email. And I go through all my, not email, voicemail. I go through my voicemails, and I've got like 8 voicemails from the last couple of days, and they're all calling from the approval department for that $70,000 loan that I didn't even apply for. It must be my lucky day. But yeah, I mean, they're just scammers everywhere. What's your take on Cadenia and Shinarium? I'm not really qualified to do coin evaluations. I can give you a little bit of information about them, but honestly, I've never heard about either of those coins, so I'm not really the right person to be asking about that type of stuff. I don't really do coin evaluations, but we're kind of in a lull here. What was I? I was going to do something and I forgot what I was going to do. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so absent-minded. It involved someone. Cashing out Bitcoin. Let's do that real quick. So if I have Bitcoin in my Coinbase account, and I go here to Bitcoin US dollar, and I do a sell at market for max, this one is only 3. That's funny because I could have sworn I had like $16 the other day. Maybe it was because it was cash. Let's see if what cash does. No, cash is 3 as well. Because I was talking to someone that was under the impression that it was cheaper to do it with US dollar coin and then convert, because converting from US dollar coin to cash on Coinbase is free. But it looks like either way, it's only going to charge me $3 for the trading fee here. Maybe I just came in at the right time. I don't know if trading fees go up based on activity, but we'll go ahead and sell this. And Dan doesn't like me selling at market. You could get whipsawed out of the price that you think you're getting there. But I went ahead and did it. And then if we go to portfolio, you can see that I have US dollar in my account now. And now I can do a transfer, and I want to withdraw cash. And if I do the instant, they'll charge me $7, right? But if I just do, like if we do Chase, it's free, right? But I don't want to do Chase. I want to do Lake Michigan. So Lake Michigan Credit Union, $400. It's totally free, but it will be 1 to 3 business days. It's Saturday night, so probably won't see the money in my account until Monday or Tuesday, but that's fine. And there we go. They might ask me for my two-factor, but no, they didn't. Usually when I don't do the instant, they won't ask me for my two-factor. I've had this account for many years, so that might be one reason why that I don't have to do two-factor every time. But generally, if I'm withdrawing crypto or doing an instant bank withdrawal of cash, I'll get asked for my two-factor identification. But for just a straight free bank transfer, the fact that I'm logged into my account is enough for them, right? Yeah, so that's that. We can do that ETH later, but that's not a big deal. So yeah, I mean, cashing out from Coinbase can be cheap. And my trade fee there was relatively acceptable for me. $3 wasn't bad, but I could have sworn that I did a trade the other day that was 16. Let me see if maybe I can find it in my, well, now I don't, here, transactions, right? Let's see, I did a Bitcoin sell yesterday, and it doesn't show the fee, but the trading fee was, no. Wait a minute, let me see that again. That was the withdrawal. Oh, here it is. BTC, no, where's the sell? I don't even see it. Yeah, when I did this sell, oh no, that was just me sending the Bitcoin to them. What? I know I did a sell where I got hit with a really high fee. I don't remember where it was. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it now. That was only a $1 fee. I don't know. I could have sworn I did a sale where the fee was really high and it kind of freaked me out. But yeah. Whatever, right? Now I look like an old forgetful dude. I could have sworn I had a big fee on some trade. Dusted in Shadow, thank you so much for that donation. Right? Let's see. PJ Playhouse. The CryptoDad. I'm getting those exact same calls. Always a different amount. We just need a little more info in order to finalize your loan. Yeah. That's funny. PJ. It is possible to send Bitcoin to OG Satoshi wallet. Someone sent tornado laundered Bitcoin to the BlackRock ETF wallet and tainted the whole wallet. LOL. Yeah, another thing about Bitcoin, a lot of people think it's anonymous. It's not. It is pseudonymous, right? It doesn't require a name or an address, right? I can send Bitcoin to anybody, anywhere. I can receive Bitcoin from anybody from anywhere. But based on the blockchain record, it is transparent. And so if there is a scam and the scammers withdraw to a certain Bitcoin wallet address, that address is now tainted, right? And that address can be identified, blocked, blacklisted, all that kind of stuff. And if, for example, they are trying to cash out from a known scam address, the cryptocurrency exchange can actually freeze or hold those funds. So Bitcoin is not anonymous. And so it is possible, it is not fungible in that sense, right? So you could send me some Bitcoin that has a clean blockchain history, or you could send me some Bitcoin that at some point back in the chain, it was in a scammer's wallet, and that Bitcoin could be tainted, even though you sent it to me legally and above board for a legitimate reason. If that Bitcoin was tainted on the blockchain from a scammer's wallet a few transfers back, they might confiscate that Bitcoin from me. I don't know that that happens very much, but it is something to think about down the road. So, and most cryptos are transparent. Ethereum and Solana, most ERC20 tokens. Monero is not, right? So Monero is more fungible because you cannot trace the history of a Monero transaction based on the sending address, right? That's one thing that differentiates privacy coins from normal, like Bitcoin. Tornado is a Bitcoin mixer. And although a Bitcoin mixer isn't ostensibly illegal per se, they now they have a bad reputation because it is a way of erasing the history of your Bitcoin. A scammer will do it if they have a large amount of Bitcoin in a tainted wallet address. They can use a mixer, which is not a centralized thing. It's available. It's like software. They can use the mixer to send their Bitcoin, and then they'll get back Bitcoin that is been quote unquote cleaned. Generally, actually, I said it's not centralized, but they are, because they'll go. You'll send your Bitcoin in there, and then they will mix your Bitcoin up with a lot of other transactions to sort of obfuscate the Bitcoin chain, and then they'll send it back to you, and basically your Bitcoin has no history. But I think there are certain applications, certain jurisdictions where Bitcoin mixers have been declared to be illegal to a certain extent. But it's a way of basically wiping the history of your Bitcoin, right, through a known piece of software. How can Bitcoin be confiscated? That's a good question. If I were to try and spend it, they might blacklist me, and then it would be useless to me. But really, they can't come in and confiscate it from me unless I give up my password, my private key, or whatever. So maybe I misspoke a little bit when I said confiscated. If that Bitcoin happened to be in my Coinbase account, then it could easily be confiscated by the IRS or law enforcement, because that's custodial holding, right? But if the Bitcoin is in your own wallet, they can't really confiscate it out of your own wallet, right? But they can blacklist your wallet address. You could try to spend that Bitcoin and find out that no one will accept it because it's been designated as tainted, right? This I don't know if that happens very often, but I know they can blacklist certain wallet addresses once, especially with Ethereum scams, where they'll scam someone from a smart contract, and like a big DEX might get drained into one wallet. They can see where it went, and they can report that wallet address right away, so that if the scammer tries to cash out, he's going to be blacklisted or blocked from cashing out, right? He'll still have his crypto, just won't be able to sell it for cash. But there are ways, right? They could swap it for other stuff somewhere else. Yeah, it's kind of like putting your finger in a dike, right? There are lots of ways for determined hackers to, cash out their crypto in some way or form, swap it for something else, and then sell it. Let's see. Oh, I'm a little over, right? I've been blabbering a lot. I didn't do a whole lot of crypto transactions. We did one. I talked about the scam. Please don't get scammed, guys. Do your best. I'll got my fresh system now. I'm pretty happy with my system. It's running great. It looks great. I cleaned the whole area. I moved everything out. Wiped down all the dust off my tables. Vacuumed underneath And cleaned out all the dust on my machine. And now I have some leftover materials to, play around with some secondary machines that I have. I've got like several machines laying around that, are shy one component or another. And I get bored. I like to work on rigs. But yeah, I usually will have some sort of like meltdown or I'll fly into a rage over something. But I guess it's cathartic, right? Because I always seem to do it, and I feel better after, right? Once I calm down. But anyway, I want to thank everybody. Oh, there's some more. Let's see. We'll see. Anybody questions? How can Bitcoin be confiscated? We talked a little bit. Can you recommend any good crypto loan provider? Thank you for all you do. Thank you for that. I am not a big fan of crypto loans. I know there are a lot of protocols that do that. I believe there are some where it can be like a smart contract. But basically, you cannot use Bitcoin as collateral without giving it to someone custodial wise, right? There are a lot of services out there that will take your Bitcoin and hold it for you as collateral until you've paid your loan back. But you are giving up control of your Bitcoin when you do that. And Nexo, I think Nexo is still around, but we had some of them that crashed. I can't think of the name of them now. I'm sure you guys can. But yeah, I mean, there's really no way to get a loan on crypto without putting it under someone else's control. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, how are you gonna? Hey, I've got 3 Bitcoin in my wallet, and can you lend me, 10 grand? I promise if I don't pay it back, I'll give you the Bitcoin, right? It has to be that you've transferred the Bitcoin to them for collateral. And legally, of course, they're only holding it until you've paid off your loan. But in practice, anything could happen once the Bitcoin's out of your control. So I'm not a huge fan of crypto lending, right? Just hang on to it. But anyway, yeah, I think you could use Nexo for a Bitcoin loan, right? But not usually what I do. So my recommendation may not be the best. But thank you for that, guys. We're going to, I'll be here again next week, of course. Let's see what we got here. Is this one working? Yeah, it's just a little bit of my green screen back there. But yeah, I spent a lot of time reinstalling all my software. I just reinstalled this Streamlabs today, but I cheated. I just after I reinstalled it, I backed up the folders that were in my app data folder, the roaming folder, and I went to my backups and just drug the preferences folder and dropped them in there. And so I still have all my assets and my scenes and everything. I thought that it would be better to start from scratch, but I put it off till today. So it worked pretty good. A lot of the things that I normally have issues with, like my key lights, came off without a hitch, like butter. So I'm pretty happy with the new setup. I'll see you guys here 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions, and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Also, I forgot to thank everybody. I think, Kenny, thank you for the news. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you, Dan, for moderating. Thank you, Joseph and Dusted in Shadows, for your generous donations. Thank you, everyone that asked questions. Thank you, everyone that just came in to hang out and spend a little time with the Crypto Dad. Hope to see you back again. Go ahead and subscribe and like this video, and I will be back. Keep an eye out for any standalone videos that I might post during the week. You never know what to expect. And best of luck to everyone. Stay safe out there.